stand in front.
Good morning, everyone. I would just like to thank all of you for coming today. There's a reason that all of you are here, and it's because Nancy touched you in some way at some part of your life in a beautiful way. And so over the past couple of days, as we've been getting ready to celebrate Nancy's life today, I've had an opportunity to talk to family members and friends and people in our community. And the stories all had a very common theme. And it wouldn't take long before you would talk to someone and you would hear about Nancy's love and her heart and her spirit. And she just touched so many people. She touched our community, and she did things that a lot of us probably don't even know that she did. And she did it selflessly and just with such humbleness. One of Nancy's favorite flowers, not one, her favorite flower, was a sunflower. And the thing about sunflowers is sunflowers always look for the light, no matter what. They always, always seek out the light. Even when it's dark, they still seek out the light. And I think it's such a testament to Nancy's entire life was how she always seeked out the light. And as a result, she became the light for so many people. She was a wonderful mother. She was a wonderful Nana, and she was an amazing friend. And we were all blessed to know her. And so as we begin, we're just going to, John has a song he's going to play for us. And I think that if there was one thing that I would want to share from Nancy, it would be she would understand that you're sad, but she wouldn't want you to be. She would want you to be happy. She would want you to laugh. She would want you to remember all of the times that you had with her, all of the conversations, all of the jokes, because she loved a good joke. And so we're just going to take a moment. We're going to listen to this song and just reflect on what Nancy meant to you, for you as an individual.
Good morning, everyone. Nancy was a special person to us here at EPT, and one of the songs I'm going to play next, when she wasn't at full health, she would be sitting at the back in those chairs and just soaking in the services and soaking in the music and the worship. And I had played this song recently when she was ill, and she told me afterwards that she really enjoyed it, so I'm going to play it for you this morning. I've had $1 to my name. I've had friends that walked away. I've even lost myself a time or two. There were bridges crossed and burned. Through all the wreckage I have learned, there is one thing that I can never lose. If I got Jesus, I've got all that I could ever need. Take the world away from me, and I'll be okay. If I got Jesus, there's a hope that's living deep inside, joy that I could never hide, a safe place to I got Jesus. I've got it all. Oh, I've seen weakness turn to strength. I've seen failures met with grace. And it's not from what I've done, it's Christ in me. A miracle I can't explain. Oh, he's given me his name. I'm the richest man that I could ever be. If I got Jesus, I got all that I could ever need. Take the world away from me, and I'll be okay. If I got Jesus, there's a hope that's living deep inside, joy that I could never hide, safe place to fall. If I got Jesus, I've got it all. Oh, someday that trumpet's gonna sound, and the King of Heaven will ride upon the clouds coming down. I'll hit my knees, oh Lord, then sings my soul. I'm going home. If I got Jesus, I've got all that I could ever need. Take the world away from me, and I'll be okay. I got Jesus. There's a hope that's living deep inside, joy that I could never hide, safe place to fall. If I've got Jesus, I've got it all. If I've got Jesus, I've got it all. I've got it all. If I've got Jesus, I've got it all.
I've been here a few years. One day I lost a button. It was a large button. And because I had value in what it was on, I went to Nancy and I said, I've lost a button and I need help. Yes, Pastor, you certainly do. And so began a relationship with this wonderful lady. And she brought out this big plastic container full of, and I don't know if it's Tupperware. Men, be vigilant, because Tupperware still exists. And we went through, and if we didn't find the exact same button that I needed on my leather jacket, and she treated that leather jacket every year, right up till the very end. And there's so much more in a life. In Acts chapter 19, there was a lady, and she was one who was quiet and went about doing good so much that with her passing, there was a huge hole in the community. Everyone turned out. Her name was Dorcas, Tabitha. And she cared for those that were poor, mentally challenged, didn't have a second person to go to. There was one lad that she used to take good care of, and he would get her mail every day, sometimes twice a day. And it was his routine to go and get the mail, come back and bring it, bring back the key. And that was his assignment. And it gave him value. There was also all the people that she quietly paid for meals at Tasty Bites all the time. So she would say to me, I have angels helping me. They're always around and they're always helping me, and they give me ideas on how to help people, how to be kind to people. And so that's what she would do. That's what this lady, whose name was Dorcas, or Tabitha in the translation, that's what she would do in her community. She was sewing things together and putting people together and putting stuff together and redeeming what people would have to throw away. She was putting things back together. She was putting people that had been in the margins and been forgotten. And she was giving them value. They'd go over to Tasty Bites and have a meal, and she would pay for it. There were many people that needed to clean their carpets, and half the time, well, if you just pay for the soap, you can use the machine. How about that? She would say. Or there was, it's been sitting here on the rack for a while. Do you think you could come by? Pick up the article? Because in the busyness of life, it would get forgotten, right? And we, all the time. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. And she would reach out and say, come on. There was times that she did laundry for people that just put it all together. Had a little bit, and she would make up the difference. She would take coins from what she had, and she would put it in the same machine so that they would finish their laundry. Over and over again. And never complained. Not once did she ever complain. Not to me. How many had complaints? See, that's just how gracious a lady she was. This lady Dorcas was so much loved that they called Jesus to come by. And he raised her from the dead so that the ministry of care could continue. We're saying goodbye today to another Tabitha, a lady who brought us together and sewed us together, and some of us are well-worn garments. We've got a lot of mileage and a lot of phrase, and she's putting us back together. And even today, you're all here as a testimony of her testimony of care and of love. The best thing a pastor can do is put a light on what people are doing and continuing to do. Is love on your community. We can all turn into a testimony of what Nancy was. Exeter can be, and Huron region can be known for its love even more than it already is. You do so much in this town. You care for each other. You put things together. You make a difference in people's lives. It is my hope and my prayer this morning that when you leave here, that we take the memory, we take her testimony, and we show the love of Jesus more than ever before. Because this crazy world just needs love. There's not enough love out there. You know, they took all the glass away from the banking, and then they put it all back at during COVID. And now they haven't lifted it off because that's the new way we do things. But she never hid behind the glass. She never did. She was front and center, caring for the community. Jesus cared for the community where he was. Went through a lot of difficulty too. We've all had our difficulties, right? So some of us had a few more than a few others. But it's so important that we have a greater grace these days, so the little ones that follow us have awesome testimonies to look at. This little lad over here is full of awesome sauce, right? You're an awesome man. Put her there. Awesome. And as we do these things, we need to show the love of God to everybody across the aisles, right? Guys? Awesome? Awesome. Because, beloved, Jesus died so that we could have life and not have the routine and the mundane. Somebody donated chairs for those that couldn't sit in regular chairs and pews, and Nancy, when she was sick, would come and sit there, and when she wasn't sick, she would come and sit in what the pews were, and then now we've changed it to chairs, but it works the same way. It's a really, really important day that the kids and our fellow friends and neighbors and family know that we love each other. I can't stress that enough, because the people we care about and we minister to need more love than we know, right? They just need more love. And sometimes it's a hard draw, right? Sometimes things happen and negative happens. And what do you do with that? You know, how do you react with that? And it is our hope and it's our prayer that as you care for one another and care for the community, you'll be Jesus with skin on. You'll be real. You'll be you. But your testimony will reflect the same thing that Nancy found, that it's better to be sunshine and to be a sunflower than it is to be a weed. And it's always cheerful to see a sunny sunflower. I really appreciate how everybody decorated everything and did absolutely all that they could do. So I love the picture on the inside. It is hard to compete with that, isn't it? It's just like, yes, I'm here and I'm full of love. If we could all just be Nancy's. Be ourselves, but be like her. And as you're watching all the stuff, the collage of everything that was part of her life, realize someday you and I will have that same opportunity. And I want to ask you, what is your intended legacy that you're going to leave behind? Is it care? Is it forgiveness? Is it love? Is it sunflowers? See, the challenge today is is not to the weak, but to the strong. And sometimes we don't feel very strong, but we can draw strength from people who do show just a little bit of sunshine. And that can make the change in our day, in our atmosphere, how we speak with people, how we treat people. Be Jesus with skin on. I'd like to ask the Haskett folks to come and attend, please. We'll give them a minute or two. Can you pop out? Thanks. Before I do this, I'm going to open the mic to people who have been asked to speak or wanting to speak in regards to this by the family. And we want to give that opportunity. So, Wes, we're just going to momentarily do this and then we'll proceed. So I have a microphone here for the family members that wanted to say something this morning. There you go.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Reuben Elliott Fisher. I'm a relatively new addition to this family, having the joy and the privilege of becoming Jasmine's husband this past year. This family welcomed me with open arms. It didn't take long to feel the warmth and the love that Nancy cultivated in all of you. It became clear to me that her love wasn't just felt, it was lived. It was passed down through her family and expressed in the countless ways that they welcomed me into their lives. I learned from Nancy what can be discerned from something so simple as a smile. Nancy's smile wasn't just a gesture. It was a reflection of who she was. A knowing grin, a mischievous giggle, or a smile so warm it could melt away the hardest of days. Each one told a story of her love, her resilience, and her joy. I'm sure many of you here today can agree that being a parent means you won't always be at your best, and you won't always be at your worst. But Nancy understood that life isn't about perfection. It's about showing up. Showing up with love, with understanding, and with a warm smile when it's needed most. As a parent, if you give a child lots of love and a soft place to land, you really can't go too far wrong. Nancy embodied this truth, not only with her children, but with everyone she cared for. That's the legacy she leaves with us, a reminder to love deeply, forgive fully, and always make space for one another to grow. Though the days might be cold as we gather to mourn this loss, it's time to remember that we haven't lost our reason to smile or the warmth in our hearts. This past week, we stood alongside Nancy as she once did for us. We gave her our smiles, lots of love, and a soft place to land. Through it, I saw the strength and love that define this family. As Jasmine and I left Huron Hospice for the last time, I paused to look out the window beyond the foyer, over the patio and the sprawling oasis of the property beyond. I imagined Nancy on the patio as it might have looked during the peak of summer, bathed in sunlight, the rolling green grass beyond giving way to an inviting canopy of trees, her hand raised in a gentle wave of farewell, and a kind, knowing smile filled with peace. But as I stand here today, I realize that wave wasn't goodbye. It was her reminder to keep smiling, to keep loving, and to keep finding warmth in one another, just as she did for all of us.
For anybody who doesn't know, I'm Natalie. I'm Nancy's sister. I'm going to start off with just a little short poem that I found, and it's called Big Sister, Little Sister. It's a special bond that spans the years throughout the laughter, worry, smiles, and tears, a sense of trust that can't be broken, a depth of love sometimes unspoken, a lifelong friendship built on sharing, hugs and kisses, warmth and caring. Big sister and little sister, their hearts as one, a link that can never be undone. The author is unknown. I'm sad and heartbroken that I'm standing here today to say goodbye to our youngest sister. It's not really goodbye, it's we'll see you again, sister. I'm going to go back now to January 29th, 1966. We lived in an old brick farmhouse outside of Moncton, Ontario. It was a cold and drafty house. Sister Nancy was born at home, delivered by Dr. Bowers, Dory Kupski. When she was born, she was blue. Our Grandma Forrester and Aunt Barb arrived, and Grandma warmed Nancy up while Dr. Bowers and Dory were helping Mom. Grandma immediately sent Nancy's dad to town to get a hot water bottle to put in the cradle with Nancy to keep her warm. The cradle was put beside the oil burner in the living room. The rest of us were upstairs taking turns to peer down the open stovepipe hole to see if there was anything we could see. We will jump now to the summer of 1967. Mom, Debbie, and I were heading to BC on the train, so our other four sisters, Kathy, Connie, Colleen, and Nancy, were spending their holiday in Zurich at our mom's brother Bob's and Annie Faye's farm. Uncle Bob would tease the girls and tell them he would spank them, joking, of course. So Mom used liquid embroidery paint and wrote on Nancy's little bloomers that she wore over her diaper and rubber pants, "Please don't spank me." Hop ahead to the summer of 71, a family picnic at Ben Miller. Everyone was spending the afternoon by the falls, relaxing and having fun. Kathy was 10 and Nancy was 5. They were above the falls in the river when Nancy was caught in the current heading towards the falls. Kathy was able to grab Nancy and a rock and hang on until she could pull them both safely to shore. Kudos, Kate, for saving her life. Sister Connie recalls Nancy raiding her closet and wearing her clothes to school. One day, Nancy made the mistake of wearing Connie's clothes on class picture day. So the jig was up. That didn't go over well. Colleen remembers talking on the phone every night, sometimes for hours. Colleen recalls a piece of advice Nancy gave her. You know, when we question ourselves on life decisions like, what if this happens or what if that happens? Nancy's advice is, it's not what if, it's what is, and you deal with it. Nancy wasn't vain about being the prettiest of us, but she always said she was Mom's favorite. Big jump to the early 80s, John and I and family had moved to Rainy River in 1982. So of course we had lots of company from home to come and visit. Bill, Nancy, Stephen, and Adam came one summer. It was sweet corn season, so Nancy and the kids and I went and got corn for supper. We had a barbecue and corn. Nancy had a new royal blue suit on. I wish I could remember how this started, but we ended up in a butter fight, resulting in Nancy's bathing suit being ruined. Sisterly love. To wrap it up, at least once a year, we get together for a Sister's Day. This past year, Nancy requested that we go to a little sandwich shop in Thamesford called Village Catering and Deli. We highly recommend it for a fabulous sandwich and amazing fries. It was recommended to her by our nephew, James. So the sisters gathered at the deli, which, by the way, isn't really a sit-down restaurant. You order and go. There were a few seats, so we sat and ordered, and it was very busy, so Nancy struck up random conversations. We all laughed and had a great time. Half hour passed, and a gentleman that had been chatting with Nancy came back to thank Nancy for making his day. That was our sister Nancy with her magnetic personality and beautiful smile and gift of the gab. One more thing, Nancy has kept karaoke alive and well. She loved to break out the K machine when she had company, resulting in a fun-filled event. Love, love, love to each and every one of you from Nancy.
So this is written to Mother Nancy from Stephen. I still can't believe you're gone. But you're not in any pain anymore. You're up with your mom and dad. And I wanted to be able to read this today, but there's no way everyone would want to sit here for 2 hours watching me cry and trying to read this. It doesn't feel real yet. I'm not too sure how to feel yet, but I do know one thing. I miss you so much already. And I know you're in a better place, and I'm happy you're up in heaven with Grandma, having tea, and watching over us all. The last 3 weeks have been the hardest days of my life, watching you go through this. I know you're going to show me the way through this life, just like you always have. The most beautiful thing was after you passed, you had a single tear come out of your beautiful eye, and when we saw that, I wiped it away. I know that tear meant happiness and joy. You will be missed by lots of people and friends, but you will be missed more by your grandkids and Amy and Reuben, Adam, April, Jasmine, and me, of course, Stephen, and all of your beautiful sisters. I love you to the moon and back, Mom. You will always be in my heart. Love, love, love.
Check, check, 1, 2. Wow, Mom sure had a lot of people that cared and loved for her, and she cared and loved a lot of people. And thank you all for being here. This is fabulous. You're gonna have to turn this down, I promise you. Right down. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky. I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. And I hope the angels know what they have. I've been so nice up in heaven since you arrived. So tell me, what do you do up in heaven? All your days filled with love and light. Is there music? Is there art and invention? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky. And I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. And I hope the angels know what they have. I've been so nice up in heaven since you arrived. I hope you're dancing in the sky. And I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. And I hope the angels know what they have. I've been so nice up in heaven since you arrived. Since you arrived.
Love, love, love. Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood, His mercy reigns, unending love, amazing grace. The Lord has promised good to me. His word my hope secures. He will my strength and portion as long as life is. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood, His mercy reigns, unending love, amazing grace. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me, and like a flood, mercy unending love, amazing grace. Shall soon dissolve like snow. The sun forbear to shine, but God who called me here below will be forever mine, will be forever mine. You are forever mine.
Wow. I just can't do the regular routine. Not but this lady. She was very special. But Wes, could you come, please? There was nothing regular about her, and there's been nothing regular about this service. And there's nothing regular about this family, because They just love, love, love. Somebody promised me you'll take this legacy hundredfold, that you'll make it your mission to love people. We need more of that in this community, in this region. There's not enough now. One really bright candle is not here to shine, but is shining there. She would laugh at me trying to hold it all together this morning. She would. Oh, you'll do fine. Come on, Pastor. Do you know when you meet those people that just aren't a burden, who really lift you when you're not looking to be lifted, but you didn't realize it, that you needed a lift, but you got one anyway? That's it, right there. That's the nut in the nutshell. For as much it is pleased our Heavenly Father in His wisdom to take her out of the pain for the last 6 years, as I've told different ones, she would be going through it, and she would either call me to come to the house or she would come here, and we would pray with her, and it would turn, and she would go again, and then things would start to build up again, and she would call and say, "Can you come by and pray with me? I just need a little help." And she would be back in the shop. It's really hard keeping up with people like that. It really is. Yeah. Oh, she'll do fine. She'll muddle through. We were talking about you in the dealing with things. But you do have to pray for her. No, I didn't get into that because I'm a grandparent and I don't want to get into that. And I have 20-some grandkids, and it's real. They all want to be the favorite. Need I say more? But I remember different times how she would say, "If you just pray for me one more time, I'll be able to go again." And she would. Whether she was sitting back there or calling me from the shop and saying, "I can't do it today. The kids have to do it. It's a little crazy. I need a word of prayer." We would pray together. And she goes, "I've got this. I've got this. Jesus and me are a majority." Has it pleased our Lord to take our beloved Nancy? We commit her to His hands. We do. So from our hands to His, we ask that the God of peace would take this lovely vessel and may it shine in heaven like none other. And we would pray a simple prayer that the God of peace that brought again our Lord Jesus, our shepherd, to heaven itself, who lives and makes intercession on our behalf every day, all day long. That this vessel that was well-pleasing in your sight, that Jesus would give his family a record level of peace, record level of hope, and help today and every day hereafter. There's no tears in heaven, because it says that he wipes them from their eyes. So, Lord, we commit her to you, and we thank you for it. We thank you for the privilege and the honor of having a relationship with this lovely lady. And I thank you, dear friends and family, that you've done well. And when you leave this place, I know you will take the torch from her hands. And you will make a difference in our community. People will know this is Nancy's family and Nancy's friends, because you guys are absolutely amazing. She comes from good stock, as they say. We don't want to let anything of that fall to the ground. Besides, these grandkids are watching, and they need the sunshine today. Amen? They need it. Thank you, Wes.
Be happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please take the sunshine away. My only sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take the sunshine away. My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take the sunshine away. My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take the sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take the sunshine away. My much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine. My sunshine, only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know how much I love you. Please don't take the sunshine away. Sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take the sunshine. You are sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take the sunshine away. My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. My sunshine, my sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. My sunshine, make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Attorney and all that stuff, and getting